Hi Aries, it's Kendrick from Providence Tarot. Let's get into your reading for the second half of November, which is going to be November 15th through the 30th, I believe. So I'm just going to shuffle these cards, and then we're going to see what's going on with you for the third week, and then we'll see what's happening for the fourth week. The energies can, blend into weeks. There's three cards that just fell out for you, which is a lot, right? So we're looking at satisfaction, right? Are you satisfied with an opportunity that you've been presented with? And do you see anything being lucrative, right? So it's almost kind of like a point of discovery or an idea that's brought you to a point of discovery. You might even be physically interacting with a new idea, right? Almost kind of like and behaving as such, right? Embodying the qualities, right? And it's all about investing in something, right? I feel. So let's go ahead and flip over these three cards here, right? Like I said, it's all about investing in something here with the Four of Pentacles, and this is the Sun in Capricorn. So the Sun in Capricorn talks about money, economy, also goals, realistic goals, right? Setting goals and applying yourself in the ways that you can meet those goals, you know what I mean? And that brings you into your power, or it kind of brings you into this place of feeling like you're actually accomplishing something or getting something done, So this is talking about the intention of that you put behind the work, the thoughtfulness behind the work and the process as well. And it also talks about different tiers, right? Or different levels, right? And priming yourself, getting yourself ready so that you can then be ready to go further, You know what I mean? And this is talking about taking your time too, because the Four of Pentacles being Sun in Capricorn is related to Saturn, the planet that rules Capricorn, okay? And it's the 10th house. So it's talking about taking your time. It's slow, but it's goals, right? It's realistic goals, trying to accomplish a lot in an amount of time that is measured, that is precise. You know what I mean? Because with the tens, it's related to kind of like that Jupiter, Wheel of Fortune kind of energy, right? Because it's the 10th house a lot, right? But it's slow and it's very precise because it's Capricorn and we're thinking about the mountain goat. You know what I mean? So you got to take your time with something. Baby steps, right? And you've got to nurture something in order for it to become strong. You know what I mean? How are you feeding this? How are you nurturing time? How are you, all of that. The Prince of Cups, that's compassion. That's, a responsibility to attach yourself to something in a way where you care, right? This is the Prince of Cups showing that you care about a process or a situation or something, right? You know what I mean? That's what this is. Wearing your heart on your sleeve, in a sense. But I mean that by really showing that you care about something, right? Taking the time, right? Sacrificing time, The Chariot, which is Cancer, rules the Knights, and that's kind of very, very Neptunian Venus energy. So it's like, how can you help? How can you assist, That type of thing. Being careful about the approach, right? Not rushing. Because the Prince of Cups, the Knight of Cups doesn't rush through because you could spill, right? This Knight of Cups, this Prince of Cups could spill whatever is in this cup that's trying to be offered, right? It's almost kind of like if you're getting a pizza or you're getting something delivered, and by the time that it gets delivered to you, it is what it said it was going to be, but it's all mangled and messed up, right? And you received it, but it's not like, make sure you don't miss the mark with something. That's why the Four of Pentacles is coming up and saying, really get this thing cemented in a realistic type of way. Model. What's the model? Business model with this Four of Pentacles being here as well, right? It also is talking about how you invest in property, okay? So let's go ahead and see what's going on. Oh, wow, the Sun. So the Sun card is great for you because the Sun is exalted in Aries. And also, the Sun card is bringing to your awareness your potential so that you can see where it lies, where it can take you. You want to stay motivated, that type of thing. This is regenerative energy. Something is restoring you. This is faith being restored. You know, faith in yourself kind of being restored in some kind of way. Because you could have gone through some challenges here with the Four of Pentacles, and you also may have felt like you had to settle or for something that was less ideal for you, but you had to be willing to make that sacrifice and see where the possibilities, you know, and where opportunities still lied within your, you know, having to submit to reality, you know. Because the Prince of Cups is like, it's allowing you to dream, but it's you need to dream in a responsible way. With the Knight of Cups, with the Prince of Cups, this is Pisces energy, right? And it's mutable, and it's the Knights are ruled by fire, right? Okay, they're fire and they're elements, so they're passionate, right? So we know that you're passionate about it, so you have to be careful with the things that you're passionate about, and the people as well. You know what I mean? So this is talking about being careful with someone's emotions that you love, right? Or maybe apologizing, or maybe somebody, you know, just being understandable, right? Understanding of the needs of others within a process that you are, you know, taking a leadership position in, kind of, because the Prince of Cups does talk about that. The Four of Pentacles talks about leadership position for real, because it's Capricorn. And then the Sun position is here, and that's Capricorn energy, just because the Sun loves being in the 10th house, and the Sun is 19, reduces to a 10. Sun loves being in the first house as well. You know, 1 and 9, 19, the Sun card, number 9, Sagittarius. So things are going to start picking up for you around Sagittarius, Capricorn season. You know, that's like December, basically. You know, things are going to start happening for you around that time. And that's the first week. So let's go ahead and see what's going on with the second week. Right, Ternunos, which is the devil, which is Capricorn again. So you got two-sided, right, Capricorn energy. And here we go with behind the Sun card, we have the Queen of Swords. All right, so let's see what's going on with this. You got the Lady, Ternunos, and the Queen of Swords. So these are all talking about growth, and it's also talking about how much time you spend waiting for things, you know, that type of stuff. And it's like, what are you waiting for? I don't know. Let me just rewind this back. It's very Venus-oriented, so it talks about how you're relating to an experience. You know, what are you taking for granted, right? Seriously, really. Do you know what you're taking for granted? Someone else usually has to show you what you're taking for granted, because that's very much like first house Aries type of stuff, right? And you need relationships and people to kind of like plant ideas that they're not trying to plant into your head, but it's like, you are picking up on subtleties, right, of clues that you're getting from your relationships with other people. And it's almost like how the lady, the Empress, is connected to the energy. The lady is actually the source of energy for the child that she is feeding inside of her, that's growing and birthing. So it's kind of like, how much time and energy are you willing to put into something in order to see it grow? Right? In order so that it can really be something that's fully developed, right? So we're talking about the patience for something to become fully developed. You know, nothing happens overnight. And that's what the Empress talks about. The Empress is willing to wait, willing to be patient in order for things to grow into the beautiful, fruitful things that they were meant to grow into. That's why she has all this fruit, these flowers. She's got wheat around her. There's water. Water is life. You know what I mean? And usually when you're watering a plant or anything, it takes time for that thing to grow, right? And there are certain surprises. So there's a little bit of an instability there. So you have to leave room for surprises, right? So take your time, you know? Take your time with whatever it is. Ternunos here talks about, you know, the appetite for growth, you know, and it also is just talking about this consumption of information and time. It's pressure as well. Ternunos puts a lot of pressure on you to learn information or for you to kind of like perform in a certain way mentally, right? So it's like you need to give people time to absorb that, you and your energy too. And the Ternunos also is like, what are the lessons that you have learned, right? You have to be willing to allow yourself to learn lessons in the process as well. The Devil card, number 15, it is the first stage of spiritual enlightenment. So you're realizing where you may have been wasting time, or you feel the pressure not to waste time, you know, with this card. I don't know why, right? You're putting too much pressure on yourself with this card here. And then the Queen of Swords, you know, she's related to the Three of Swords, which is talking about, you know, not allowing yourself to be too restricted. You know what I mean? But the Queen of Swords is also somebody that's going to be very truthful and honest with you about something. You know, the Queen of Swords is a person that is not going to mince words, right? It could be a little bit shocking as to like how blunt they are going to be with you, you know, that type of thing. The Lady is the ruler of the queens. The Empress is a ruler of the queens here. And for me, it's just like kind of feeling like a process that you are developing, because Chernunos talks about development and the Lady does too, and the Queen of Swords talks about like updates, right? That type of thing. So what is the updated what are the updated developments, right? What's the new information? You know, because the Queen of Swords does communicate, so it is news. You know, not necessarily like a gossip type of news, but it's like, what is it? You know, so you are speaking with the Queen of Swords here. Let's make sure that we're clear on what the intentions are, and let's definitely practice patience, that type of thing, right? And maybe you need to get some feedback as well, right? Whatever that is, I don't know. Maybe you need to get some kind of feedback, because the Queen of Swords is someone that gives really great advice, right? But the Devil card here is talking about being stubborn over the feedback, right? Maybe you're not seeing something. Maybe there is something that you're not willing to, it's not that you're not willing to see it, but this could be breaking old habits with the Devil card being here. You know, these are limiting. Be aware of how you might be creating conflict by limiting yourself. You know, we're talking about fresh ideas, because Chernunos talks about getting bored, right? And there's the pressure not to make something be too, you know, you don't want to take the fun out of it, right? Because the Devil card is kind of serious. The Queen of Swords is kind of serious. And the Lady just wants the freedom to kind of like be creative, or to feel creative. And it's within structures, because the Lady, the Empress, she's flexible but limited, right? Because there's certain things that she can't do here with the being pregnant, right? So it talks about the sensitivities that a process has, right? Or how sensitive a process is. Okay, so sometimes you have to rethink, sometimes you have to restructure within a process that you've already kind of formulated, right? So make sure that you stay flexible and you maintain a sense of objectivity, right? And don't be resistant to feedback, right? Let's see what's going on with these 3 cards that fell out for you. Okay, wow, yeah, exactly. It's the Ace of Cups. That's great. The 3 of Wands. Okay, that's waiting for feedback. That's getting feedback, and that's trying to see, like, that's being patient with this process as well. Like I said, when you want, wow, this is really crazy. Because before I turned these cards over, I didn't know what they were. And remember that analogy that I made when, like, you water plants, right? You water things that you are nurturing and trying to grow, okay? You see that with this card here? Water, right? Lush, water it, right? Inspiration, right? Feeding the inspiration. Here's it growing, okay? And here's the wish coming true.